I am looking forward to the day when HOA finally come to an end, because it seems like every week there's another story about homeowner getting hit with higher fees, getting fined for things that seem unreasonable, getting foreclosed on over a relatively small amount of money, or dealing with legal battles over HOA disputes. Now, I understand why HOAs exist. The goal is to maintain neighborhoods, protect property values, and take care of shared amenities. But lately, some of these stories have left a lot of homeowners asking the same question: when did this get so expensive? One of the biggest HOA stories this year came out of Fort, North Carolina. For homeowners there, life was moving along normal. Their HOA dues were about $350 a month. Certainly not cheap, but when you're buying a home, you include that number in your budget. You calculate your mortgage, you calculate your insurance, you calculate your property taxes, and then you add the HOA fees. Everything fits. You move forward, and that's why residents were shocked when they learned their HOA dues were expected to jump from $350 to $1,250 every single month. Think about that for a second. That's an increase of about $900 every month. For many families, that's another mortgage payment. It's groceries, childcare. It's money that was already being spent somewhere else. But the higher monthly dues weren't the only surprise. Residents also learned that they would face a $10,000 special assessment. Now, naturally, the homeowners started asking questions. How did the community get to this point? Why was such a dramatic increase necessary? And could something have been done sooner? The controversy became so significant that North Carolina lawmakers started discussing new legislation involving HOA. Some of the proposed bills could limit certain HOA powers. Another would require the state to track homeowners' complaints so lawmakers have a better understanding of the issues that residents are facing. Now, whether those bills become law or not, one thing is clear. Stories like this are becoming common enough that lawmakers are starting to pay attention. But as surprising as that story is, the next one happened much closer to home, right here in South Florida. One of the stories that stopped me in my tracks happened right here in South Florida. It involved a 79-year-old condo owner in Aventura. Like many retirees, he had worked hard, bought a condo, and expected to enjoy retirement. Then came a letter from his condo association. The assessment, $224,000. $224,000. When I first saw that number, my first thought was, how does someone end up owing $224,000 after they already bought their home? The answer goes back to the Surfside condominium collapse in 2021. After the collapse, Florida lawmakers passed Senate Bill 4-D. The goal was simple: make older condominium buildings safer. The law requires many condo buildings that are 3 stories or taller and at least 30 years old to undergo structural inspection. If serious problems are found, they have to be repaired. Associations also have to fully fund reserve accounts so money is available for future repairs instead of putting everything off. And from a safety standpoint, many people agreed those changes were necessary. But for many condo owners, especially retirees living on a fixed income, the financial impact has been overwhelming. According to reports, this homeowner simply couldn't afford a bill that big. And unfortunately, he wasn't the only one. Roughly 2/3 of Florida condominiums are affected by these reserves and inspection requirements. And about 1 million condos in Florida are more than 50 years old. Nearly half of those are located in South Florida. That means many associations are now trying to balance 2 different realities: making buildings safer while asking homeowners to pay for those improvements. Some owners have lowered the asking price of their condos, hoping they can sell it. Others have struggled to find buyers because potential purchasers know large assessments could still be coming. Unfortunately, this wasn't the only Florida community dealing with unexpected costs. Now, residents at Seagate of Gulfstream condominiums in Boynton Beach thought they were attending another association meeting. Instead, they left with another bill. Homeowners learned that they would need to pay an additional $5,500. And at first, $5,500 might not sound as shocking as $224,000, but here's what makes the story different. Many of these homeowners had already paid a $22,000 assessment, so this wasn't the first unexpected expense. It was just another one. One resident said many of her neighbors simply couldn't afford another assessment. Some were already asking if they should put their home up for sale. She also shared something else that really stood out to me. Units that once sold for around $300,000 were now being listed closer to $131,000 and $141,000. Whether those homes ultimately sell at those prices remains to be seen. But it shows how rising assessments can affect buyers' confidence and property values. Florida lawmakers have since approved changes giving some condominium associations additional time to comply with parts of the new reserve funding requirement. But for many homeowners already facing those bills, those changes came after some very difficult financial decisions had already begun. And while Florida condo owners are dealing with special assessments, some homeowners are facing something different: monthly HOA fees that just keep climbing. Not every HOA story starts with one giant assessment. Sometimes it happens little by little. One increase, then another, and then another. A California homeowner told the Wall Street Journal that his HOA dues have more than doubled since 2015. Today, he pays about $1,500 every single month just in HOA fees. When he adds together his HOA dues, property taxes, and insurance, those costs are actually higher than what he pays towards the principal and interest on his mortgage. And another couple in Colorado shared a similar experience. When they bought their home in 2019, their HOA payment was around $600 a month. Today, it's nearly $1,300. And those increases didn't happen overnight, but over time. They became one of the biggest monthly expenses these homeowners had. And I think that's one of the biggest lessons from all of these stories. Sometimes the biggest financial surprises don't happen all at once. They happen one increase at a time. And after reading all of these stories, one thing became very clear. The mortgage is only one part of what it costs to own a home. The financial health of the HOA matters just as much. If you're thinking about buying in an HOA community, don't just ask what the monthly HOA fee is today. Ask how much money the association has in reserve. There has been special assessments. Ask if major repairs are planned. Ask how much the HOA fee has increased over the last 5 years. Those answers will tell you much more than the monthly payment ever will, because here's the reality. A low HOA fee isn't always a good thing. Sometimes it simply means the association haven't been saving enough money for the future repairs. Finally come due, homeowners are often the ones left paying the price. Now, to be fair, not every HOA is like the ones we talked about today. There are many well-managed communities with responsible boards, healthy reserve funds, and homeowners who are happy where they live. But these stories are a reminder that buying a home isn't just about finding the right house, it's about understanding the community, finances, and the responsibilities that comes with it. And I just want to leave you with this. Financial stress is real. Unexpected bills can feel overwhelming, but God's words reminds us in Philippians 4 verse 19, "And my God will supply all of my needs according to his riches and glory in Christ Jesus." And that doesn't mean life will always be easy, but it does mean we never have to face these challenges alone. Make sure you pray for wisdom before making any big financial decision. Seek good counsel and trust that God will direct your steps. If you have a crazy real estate story you would like me to share in a future video, send me an email. Whether it happened while buying, selling, or dealing with an HOA, I would love to hear about it. And if you're considering selling your home in South Florida, there's a link in the description below where you can connect with me. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you spending just a few minutes with me today. If you found this video helpful, I'd really appreciate it if you give me a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos that can help you make smarter real estate decisions. God bless, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.